Hello Snack Pack, welcome back to Travel Snacks, or if this is your first time, welcome to the channel. It's a little low, let me raise that up a little bit. So what is Travel Snacks all about? Travel Snacks is all about traveling, eating good food, snacking, and maybe even living an alternative lifestyle, such as living in a car, RV, van, tiny home. And it also just, I like to talk about using the resources that you have. So even if you don't have a lot of money, you can do a lot of things on a small budget. So I really like to just share that as much as I can when I'm on my journey. So before we get started, and I even tell you where I'm at, if you've been following my live streams for a minute, you'll know that sometimes we have a little trouble staying connected because my phone overheats. So I've taken a few extra precautions today. So hopefully the phone does not pause on the live stream. But if it does, please know I will come back. I always come back. So if the screen just pauses, it means that my phone overheated and it's just going to take a minute for it to come back. I have an ice pack currently behind my phone right now. I have my shade up on my window. I actually put this light sweater on the other window, and I have a backup bag of ice. And I have my AC on. So let me turn it down a little bit. So hopefully we're good to go. But again, I think I'm just gonna have to get a new phone eventually. Yeah, but I think it's just like because the live stream goes for like an hour, my phone is just working. So technology. So how's everybody doing? If you're joining the live stream, let me know where you're watching from and how is your day going. I am live streaming to you today from a place in California called Cabazon. That's the name of the city. And where I'm parked right now is right outside of the famous, world famous movie Dinosaurs that you've seen probably on movies like Pee-wee's Big Adventure or The Wizard. So we'll chat for a little bit and then I will get out and show you the dinosaurs. It is about 80 degrees, so I probably won't stay out there very long because I don't want my phone to overheat. Also, it's an extremely windy day. I've been like looking out the window and it's just very windy, and so whenever I walk around it's going to be fairly loud, so I want to make sure that you guys can hear me, or if I walk around and you can't hear me, you could just mute it and just like see the beautiful dinosaurs. Hey Drew, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. So I'll go out there in a little bit. Plus there's so many people out here. I rolled up and I was like, I mean, I think they just opened this week. They opened back up for these dinosaurs, but there's so many people out. So this doesn't bother me, but I'm just saying, like, there's just so many people. Here they have like 2 giant dinosaurs, a few small dinosaurs, and they even have a Sweetosaurus ice cream truck, which is new, I think. I'm sure you've seen these dinosaurs in movies, and sometimes they'll show it when people are on like the road in California. So how is everyone doing today, and where are you watching from? I wasn't sure where I was gonna go today because there's been a lot going on. Hey Snow Panther, how you doing? It seems like this week just kind of blew up. Hey Drew, I know you're in Houston, but I'm glad to see you. I don't know, I didn't know if you were still traveling or if you're going traveling yet. This week has seemed, I don't even know what. It seems like it's been heavy hearts and a little bit of sadness, and a lot of stress and overwhelmedness. This week especially, it seems very heavy. I usually just like don't get anxious about stuff, and I, have a pretty light-hearted spirit, but this week has been kind of dragging me down, to be honest. I bet Seattle's nice. Not to break up my thought here, but I just saw Snow Panther say Seattle. I bet it's very lovely right there, right now. Whereas here, it's like 80 degrees. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in the world. It was like everybody was like at home and like really focused on being at home, and then riots. And then everybody was out just freaking out about the whole world. And it's like, you can't keep people caged up that long, regardless of what else is going on, like terrible things going on. People can't just stay caged and not expect people to like lash out and kind of freak out. 55 in rain. Well, see, I don't know how you feel about this, No Panther, but I love rain. And especially in California, we don't get a lot of rain. So rain to me is beautiful and I love it very much. But I'm sure if you live in somewhere like Seattle, maybe you get sick of it. I don't know. So let's talk about this week. So last week on my live stream, I was talking about kind of making the decision to move up my time frame about trying to get a van. So it's not something that I was really planning to do right now. I was planning to leave on my next journey on Monday, like in 2 days from now. And then just a bunch of stuff, just, you know how like life just kind of throws curveballs and different things, and then you're just like, whoa, I have to shift my thinking and maybe do some different things. So what happened is, just like, I guess we have time, we're sitting here chatting. I started to like get ready for my journey and I started ordering a bunch of things. One of the things was a microwave because I'm tired of eating fast food, and I just put out that video yesterday, can you microwave in a car? Quick answer, if you don't want to watch that video, is not really. And it was just like so costly, and also I was like, it's not worth it. And then I ordered like a mini fridge for my car, and that didn't fit. It works great, but it didn't fit, which that video is coming this week. And then I tried out a cooler, and I just like, I don't want to deal with ice. And I don't know, I think it was my friend or my dad or somebody was like, I feel like you're trying to make your car into a van or a camper. And I'm like, you're right. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make it a little more comfortable, because on my last journey, I was fine. I made it work with the car. But also, it kind of like, it gets to a point where, like just trying to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night places, or just like trying to eat something other than fast food, or just trying to keep something cold in your car. Just, it gets to you, because it's just like every day is a challenge. And challenge is great because it makes you grow as a person. But also I was like, okay, well, I'm trying so hard to make this car more comfortable. Like maybe now is the time to get a van. And I really wasn't ready to do that because I really love my car and it's not paid off yet, but it's to the point where I can trade it in and get good money. So anyway, long story short, my dad was starting to look for vans for me, and I'm like, hey, I don't know if I'm ready for that, but he did. We found one. We went and looked at it, and me and my friend looked at it, and I was like, this is nice, but like, it was like a camper inside, like a full-on situation. And I was like, I mean, it's nice, but also like, do I need this much van? And so my dad and I drove back down to San Diego to go look at it Thursday, and I test drove it, and it was fine. It's a 99 van. It had like 130,000 miles on it, but it had a rebuilt engine with only like 1,000 miles on it. But you know how like sometimes you just have to get a gut feeling about things. You know, your spirit speaks to you. And my dad, when we left, he's like, I don't know, I just didn't get a good feeling off this van. And I was like, same. And also, so we drove it, we took it on the freeway. I guess I'm just not used to driving like a big van, so I will for sure have to get used to that. But also, it just didn't feel like 100%. And so we parked it, and then this type of van, it has like those bench seats that you push a button, electric button in it, like makes the seat go down into a bed. So I go in the back and I push the button, and nothing happens. And I told the guy, I was like, oh, hey, how does this thing work? He's like, oh, no, it should just work. And I'm like, does the motor have to be running? And he's like, no. And so I'm like, well, I'm pushing it and nothing's happening. So he's like, oh, well, let's turn the van on. Maybe. So we turn the van on, nothing works. Now this van also had a generator built in, which has just a button you push for a generator, so you can run all sorts of things, which is a great option to have. So We pushed the button for the generator. Nothing happened. So basically, two major electric things weren't working on this van, which I'm like, this already like makes me feel nervous. Because if I get all the way somewhere in the middle of the country and electric problems start happening on a used van I just got, that makes me nervous. Now I get it. It's going to be a used van. Anything that I get is going to be used. But also, I don't want to start out with problems. So he's like, oh, let me call my buddy over. We'll try to fix it, blah, blah. And so the buddy came over. There's 3 guys trying to work on this van. And I'm like, I'm already like, I'm over it. Like, I can't even with this van. Now, it was nice. And so I was really pulled about it. But then I was like, you know what? If it's meant for me, it's meant to be. Like, it's going to work out. I think you got to get a vibe, you know? Fuses and relay check your fuses and relay check your fuses and relays. Check your fuses and relays. Yeah, so what I was going to do, if I got real serious about getting this van, I was going to see if I could get like a mechanic to look at it. Either take it into, this guy is opening his door right next to my, don't hit my door, bro. I was going to take it into a mechanic and do like an inspection, or I was going to have a mobile mechanic come over and look at it, which I've never done that even, but I feel like it's worth it to spend some money, you know, in order to make sure that I'm getting a van that's going to run. He's selling it for a reason. Absolutely. I asked him, I was like, why are you selling this? He's like, well, I bought this van and, you know, because this guy was retired. And, oh, awesome. You're a mechanic. Okay, well, that's good to know. He's like, I bought this van and I was going to, you know, I bought it for me and my grandkids to go camping. We went out camping one time and then my grandkids were like, we hate camping, which I guess is legit. I mean, kids can be jerks sometimes, or not even jerks, you know, sometimes people just don't like camping. So he was like, yeah, I bought it, and then they just didn't want anything to do with it. But also his attitude was a little nonchalant for my taste. Like, I was like, oh, how does this work? Like, it had cruise control. I'm like, oh, does that work? He's like, I don't know. I never used that. I asked him a few other things like, oh, does this work? He's like, I don't know. Just check. There's a book. I have it. You could look at it. And I was like, if you're trying to sell a car or van, you know, I feel like you don't have to be like an upseller or like be mega car wheels about it, but also like you should kind of know a little bit about what you own. So anyways, he's like, oh, we're gonna get this fixed and, you know, you can come back. Now, mind you, I don't live near San Diego. I live like 2.5 hours from there. So that was my second time going out to see this van. And so we were about halfway home, and then he texted me. He's like, oh, we got it all fixed. It's all sorted out. It's, you know, it was just maybe I think it was a fuse. He's like, oh, it's just a thing, and, you know, we fixed it. So come back and let's make a deal. And I'm like, I'm over it. I'm over that van. It just doesn't sit right with me. And so I was a little bummed, to be honest, because I was like, maybe I'm going to get this van and it's going to like start my journey, and it didn't. And so now, during this process, I started looking into, you know, selling my car to a dealer, which I know is going to be worse because they're going to give me less. And when I found out how much less on this car, I was like, that's bull. Like, I spent a lot of money on this car and it's still in great condition. I tried looking at vans so hard to find, it's so hard to find a good one. Yeah, it is. And so I was like, well, now I'm kind of in a quandary, because now would be the good time to trade in my car, because it's in a good time. It's in a, like, I've had it. Yeah, trust your gut for sure. Now is a good time for me to sell my car, because it's got less than 50,000 miles on it. It's maybe like 4 years old, and it's in excellent condition. It's got brand new tires, new battery, just everything's great on it right now. Van searching is a journey. It is a journey. And like, I've been feeling like a little pressure. I feel a little pressure right now, because I'm like, well, do I take my car out for this next journey and keep looking? I know, where's Grant? I know, I was like, where's Grant? I don't know. I was like, do I take this car out for one more journey and while I'm searching for a van? Or do I stay here in California for a few months or whatever, how long it takes for me to find a van? So the sucky thing about now, like, after I've been doing all this research, it's like, now if I take my car out, I feel like I'm putting more miles on this car, and, you know, it's just depreciating even further. So now I'm like, okay, so maybe now is the right time to sell this car. So maybe I don't want to take this car out again. And then so I found another van which looked perfect. It was smaller, it was like newer, and it was better. A big van. This one that I looked at in San Diego, the one that was a 99, that was like a freedom travel, like a full-on like camper. Inside it was like a camper. It looked like a mini camper. It wasn't like a little sleek little thing. It was big. As a wide body. It was big. This one I found, another one I found was like skinnier, sleeker, and it was all rebuilt inside. It just had like a bed and a little tiny kitchenette thing, and that was more suitable for me. I don't need a lot of space. And I hit the guy up and I was like, one of the things that's important to me is that I'm able to stand up in the van, because I don't want to be just crouching down all the time. And I just sent him a message. I said, is the van still available? He says, yes. I said, just really quick, what's the internal or the interior height? And he just doesn't respond. I'm like, bro, do you want to sell your van or not? And so that's been like, that was yesterday and I still haven't heard back. So now, you know, you guys are live with me now. I'm just letting you know what's in my thoughts, because I haven't really like made a full-on decision, but I feel like at this very moment, what's going to happen is I'm going to probably end up today, this is my thought today, I'm probably going to end up buying a empty van and just building the van with my dad, because my dad is very handy and I'm pretty handy too. Like, I don't know how to build a van, but there's a lot of YouTube videos, and I mean, it's a journey. Our neighbor has a van that they rebuilt, and I went and looked at it, and they did a really good job with it. And they told me one of the best moves they made was to go to like Hertz or Penske or Enterprise or somewhere where they sell those cargo vans after they've hit a certain mileage, and they're newer, so they have better options. Like, you can even get like a backup camera and like better things, and they're a little less expensive. But you know, you gotta, it's blank inside. There's nothing in there, so you gotta like insulate. You gotta do, I mean, everything, the wiring and just everything that you can imagine is in a van. But that will delay my journey probably for a couple months. They told me that they took like 3 months to build their van inside. And then the other option is to get that van and just do the basics and then throw a bed in there, a little porta potty or whatever, and keep it moving, and then come back and keep just adding to it. So that was the long way around to tell you guys that I'm not sure what I'm doing. I'm definitely not leaving Monday because I don't know what I'm doing. So next week I'm going to San Diego. One of my friends, she needs me to house sit, and which is a great time to kind of get away and get my mind together. So I still have a bunch of videos. Don't worry, I'm still going to be posting. I have a drive around video coming tomorrow from downtown LA, which was crazy. That's going to be posted tomorrow morning. So all that said, just a quick little shout: if you haven't liked this video or this live stream, put a like on it real quick, because that shows YouTube that you like the live streams. And if you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe and the notification bell. So that's what's been kind of really heavy on my mind this week, is figuring out my next steps. So I want to do like my due diligence in finding a van. I don't want to find a van under pressure, but I know that just with anything, you got to get a good vibe. And so that's kind of where I'm at today. If something doesn't pop off soon about a van, then I'm just gonna throw my mattress back here, pack it up, and go on my next journey. And I'll just worry about the car selling at a later time. So that's my story. Now, what am I snacking on this week? That was a weird segue. First of all, what are you guys snacking on this week? I've been off sugar for like a month, pretty much. And this week it kind of took over me a little bit. A lot of people want to do what you are doing, but they're scared to. Yeah, I hear a lot of people saying, I don't know how you do it. That's just so crazy. I'd be too scared. And I never feel scared. I don't know why. I mean, I know why, because I trust God. I don't ever worry about what's going to happen, because, and I'm very cautious too. Like, I, pay attention to what's going on around me. The gyms are open in certain areas in certain states. Like, my journey was going to take me through Nevada up to Idaho, and then like Wyoming, Montana, like all those states. The ones in Idaho are open, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot more opening soon. I tried to move over to Anytime Fitness, and I say tried to move over, I didn't really do too much effort of it. I've sent them an email, and I asked them, can they tell me how much it's going to cost? And this fool got back to me with an email. He's like, right now we're not doing memberships, but for $150, you can sign up to our online fitness and nutrition program. And I'm like, bro, I'm going there for the showers. I don't even really care about the gym part. I mean, I could, body weight gym myself in a park. Like, I'm not worried about that. So he didn't really answer my question. So I'm still on the fence about Anytime Fitness. I've heard several people telling me different things. Some people were like, it's just $30 a month. And some people were like, it's like $55 a month. So now, I don't know about Anytime Fitness. But Planet Fitness, where I already have the membership, is $23 a month. And a lot of them are opening back up. So anyways, back to snacks. I talked about this snack a few live streams back. And I tried to ration this out. This is the Nubu Nut Butter Bites. It's gone now. I had 2 bags. One was pecan, like with pecans, and one was, what was the other one? I think almonds or something. These are delicious. This company sent these to me. It's my first snack sponsor. They sent me 2 bags of these, and I would like trying to eat just like 1 or 2 little bites a day. Not even a day, like I'd ration them out. And I do have a Nubu. This is my Nubu right here. Never lets me down. And now it's gone. But the good news is they sent me a DM, and they were like, we got some really good news that we've been accepted to be sold in Walmart. That's a big deal for them. I'm really happy for them. And so I think I'm gonna hustle myself over to Walmart and get a couple more bags, because they're delicious. And they're like, what is it? Like gluten-free, preservative-free, vegan. It's good stuff. That's that. Now, like I said, last weekend, beginning of last week, I was feeling some type of way, and I was just on one. Like, I was not in a great place, which is rare for me. I'm usually happy and, got good stuff going on. Last week wasn't that way. I just was in a mood, and I was like, you know what? I want chili cheese fries or chili cheese whatever. And like, I went into Target and I got these, the alternative chili cheese Fritos, which I don't hardly ever get these because it's too salty and whatever, but sometimes I get a craving for these. And I didn't need a bag this big. I didn't. This was like $4. I was like, I don't want to spend $4, but this is all they had at Target, so I got it. And that's probably gonna last me for a long time, but that's what I've been snacking on this week. And also now I don't have any food at home because I was planning to leave Monday. So I need to go grocery shopping if I'm gonna stay. But now next week I'm going to San Diego. I'm all over the place, can you tell? How do I cook? Okay. So that's kind of what I was talking about, is like I was trying to figure out a way to like cook in my car. So I ordered a microwave, which I just talked about, that didn't work. Long story, I made a video about it. So microwave didn't work. I bought one of those Coleman gas stoves, and I got it, and then I'm like, am I really gonna do that? I'm not gonna put like gas in my car. I'm not gonna like cook with gas in my car. It's like a thought that I was like, I'll do it. But then, when you just kind of lie to yourself sometimes, and then you realize that's really not gonna like be a thing. So I sent that back. I didn't even open it. I just got it from Amazon. I'm like, you're not gonna cook in your car like that. So I wish I had it, but I have a Hot Logic Mini. It's a slow cooker. It's like a little square thing with a glass Pyrex dish. And I show it in the video I made last week on how to use a microwave in your car. And so it heats up to 165. And so you can cook fresh food. Like, you can cook chicken and rice. You can even cook from frozen. But it takes 2 hours from frozen. So you got to think ahead. And you can cook fresh stuff too. Vegetables and stuff. I cooked, on my last journey, I cooked salmon and broccoli or whatever. And that took about an hour and a half. And it's okay, like if you start earlier in the day and then you just let it go, it's not gonna burn. It's just gonna keep it warm. But it's just inconvenient because, sometimes it's like, I don't know when I'm gonna be hungry or when I'm gonna eat, and then you got this thing cooking and sucking your power off of your battery or your power pack, kind of like you have to think about it. Would you consider eating just shelf-stable stuff or too boring? Um, yeah, like, I mean, yeah. I tried a few things on my last journey. Um, and also, like, you know, like all the grocery stores, they have like the delis where you can just go in and like have them make you a sandwich, but that really adds up. And then I bought bread and I bought a bunch of stuff, but then like grocery stores are not set up for single people for like one single meal, because like I bought bread and like I I was trying to eat less meat, so I would get like avocado and cheese and stuff, but it's like, what do you do with the rest of like the slices of cheese and stuff? And I had like the avocado. It's like, it can't just sit in a hot car, you know? So it kind of got to be like, that's why I started thinking like, what are some other solutions by living in your car? Now, you know, you can do basic things like, I have a can opener with me. You can cut open just like a can of beans and get a tortilla or whatever and throw that in the Hot Logic Mini and heat that up and just make little bean burritos, and that's fine. I even did like peanut butter and jellies. You can even do those like little macaroni and cheeses, but all that, like, some of that stuff is very not healthy. Like, it's filled with sodium, and I'm like, my ankles started to swell up because I wasn't drinking enough water, and it kind of was like, okay, you need to like get yourself together because you need to think about your health. So that's why this time I was like trying to figure out different solutions to have like better meals. Not that microwaving is the greatest thing ever, because that's not really great either, but one step at a time, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do everything all at once. Like, I'm not gonna just eat like all fruit all day or all salads every day. I just know myself. So anyways, that's what I'm snacking on this week, and I don't know what's gonna happen next week, but for now I'm just keeping it basic. Maybe we should go out and check this stuff. How am I feeling today? Well, first of all, thank you for asking. Keep it real, you know, I like to keep things real. I'm feeling like every morning I read my Bible and I journal a little bit, just like kind of like what's on my mind and stuff. And I really couldn't place like how I'm feeling. I'm feeling like, you know, when there's just like a lot of thoughts in your mind, not necessarily like just terrible things, and not necessarily great things, but just things. Like a lot of things that you have to consider. Not even things I have to like make a decision on today, but just like for example, I took everything out of this car to prepare for my next trip because I want to like vacuum it out and clean it, and like, you know, I have leather seats, so I want to like condition them, and like I want to get it nice, and then I was going to put everything back. But now that everything's out of my car and in my room, like I live with my parents when I'm not traveling. That's my base, and I have one room, and it's like everything is everywhere. I can't find anything. It's just like frustrating. I think maybe that's the word. I'm a little frustrated because there's a lot going on in the world that's upsetting. There's a lot going on with the whole like COVID thing that's upsetting. There's a lot going on personally that's upsetting. And at the same time, life's great. Like I'm like, I can't complain, you know what I mean? Like, all in all, my life is still wonderful. I still get to do things and travel. I have a car, you know, I have food, I have a bed. Like, I can't complain about most things, you know. Like, tomorrow, my drive around video from LA, about 9 minutes in, you're gonna see like tent city of like so many homeless people that don't have anywhere to go. Like, if people don't think there's a real problem, I think people do know, but it's just atrocious. It's terrible, and it kind of breaks my heart. But so when I'm just talking about my own personal internal thoughts, I'm just being honest. But in the big scheme of things, I'm great. I'm blessed. So today I feel a little heavy-hearted and a little just frustrated. But all in all, I know everything's gonna work out, and I'm still like grateful for everything that I have and everything that's happening. So thank you for asking. How are you guys doing? Because I know like everybody is But right now it seems like there's a lot going on. So hopefully you guys are hanging in there and you're doing great. Dark side. Try not to worry about what other people are doing. Just take care of yourself. You're doing a fine job of being a nice person. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, the sound cut out. Can you guys still hear me? I have this ice pack on the back of my phone, but that's not going to interfere with the sound. Let me know if you guys can still hear. Okay, good. Okay, so shall we go outside and see the dinosaurs? Do you guys want to see what they look like, or you guys don't care? Because I've seen these 100 times as I drive on the California freeway. This was frozen when I came here, and it's 79 degrees currently, and it's been sitting on the back of my phone. Like, my windshield is covered with a thing. Hopefully the sound problem doesn't keep going. And this is almost like out of, you know, iciness. Okay, so here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna have to get my little ice pack out and wrap it with a rubber band. This is my janky ice pack. So I have ice in 2 Ziploc bags, and then this is a sock, the little ankle socks. I don't even care. I don't even care. Where am I from originally? I'm from California. I was born and raised. I was born in LA County, in a city called Van Nuys. And I lived in a lot of cities in California. I've never lived in another state, and I think that's why it's been so exciting for me to journey to other states, because I'm seeing a lot. Let me get myself together here. I've got my chips, my empty bag. I got my mask. In this county, we don't have to wear masks anymore, but a lot of places still recommend that you wear masks. So I was carrying my mask. Do you guys have to still wear masks? Is that happening where you live? Gotta think about how I'm gonna do this. Okay, let me take this off the thing. Oops, sorry. Might be a little bumpy for a second here while I coordinate my life. How do I do this? Sorry, dudes. Ah! Okay, now it's on the tripod. You get kicked out of stores if you aren't wearing masks here in Burlington, Vermont. Really? I'd say that like the majority of the stores out here, since it's no longer like an order, you don't. But there are still some stores that are like, listen, we want you to wear this mask, and it's required if you want to come into our store. So it's different for every store. Okay, now I gotta try to put this ice pack on the back of my tripod. This is the things you gotta do when you try to do a live stream in 80-degree weather. Ah! And I gotta try not to cover up the camera. This is like a mess. Okay, I got one side on, now I gotta get the other rubber band. Okay, I'm from Alabama. People from California are like celebrity to us. We're just country people down here. That's funny. I was just in Alabama in February or March. I made a couple videos from there, and I loved Alabama. Like, we don't hear much about Alabama a lot, but I loved it. I thought it was great. It was beautiful. LOL, not only famous person in Vermont is Bernie Sanders. I didn't even know he was from Vermont. Yeah, I loved Alabama. I thought it was very beautiful. Everybody was like the most nice, and it was awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna go out here. I'm gonna show you these dinosaurs in the surrounding mountains, and I'm going to show you the ice cream food truck. And if I don't say much, you didn't lose me. It's just because it's so windy, and you're going to hear that like shh in the mic of my phone. And if I can find a pocket of space that doesn't have wind, I'll continue to talk. And if you don't hear much from me, I'm just going to show you around, and then I'll come back to my car. Give me a thumbs up if that's cool, because I want you guys to see it, because it is cool. It is cool to see. You know, it's like when we live in our own areas, we take it for granted, like what we have around us. But I think it is very cool. There's a lot of people here. Maybe not as many as when I pulled up, so that's positive. Good, okay. Have you been here before, just driven by it? I've been here before. So before I get out, let me tell you that the two big dinosaurs, this one that I'm gonna show you over here, this like the brown one on the left, is a store, a gift store. I'm gonna try to go in it, but I have a feeling they have signs that say no filming in here. So if not, I'll try to peek in with you guys and show you. But it's got like all these like tchotchke stuffs and just like, you know, candy and souvenirs. And then this other green and white one, is that like a T-Rex, that I think you can go in through its like side, and I think it's costs money to go in, so I won't be doing that. And then there's a thing in the very back, it's like an adventure place for more dinosaur stuff, and I think that's like $13. So that's what's happening here. So all right, here we go. We're gonna go do it. Ah, it's already so windy. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, here's this first dinosaur. Oh, my hat's about to fly off. This thing is huge. Yeah, life size. His tail. There's this little snake looking one. That was not as tall as I'm gonna try to go into the dinosaur. Hold on. People are coming out.
I can't do it anymore.
All right, I'm gonna try to film in here, so I'm gonna be quiet, but let's go in here real quick. Gift store.
Don't be pulling everything out, okay? Be careful. You gotta know what's in here. Oh, you got on this side. Got it over here?
stuffed animals. Beautiful scenery, so beautiful. I have never been to California. Oh, this is awesome. I'm so glad. The posters, little toys.
Yeah, the printer? Huh? Yeah, the printer, the next one? That's your bag.
Shark teeth, I know.
Okay.
Crazy.
There's like a little map of this area. Okay, so that was inside of the alligator. I mean, not the alligator, the dinosaur. Literally feels like I'm in there. Awesome, yay. All right, so this is that was the big brown dinosaur. I think his name is Denny, but I'm not sure. And then they have little ones kind of just around back there, which I'll go there, but this is the brown one's tail. You can see it's huge. All right, let's go over here. And then you got like the old gas station sign with the dinosaur, Burger King, big mountains. Okay. And here's the green one, the T-Rex. Oh, and there's the sweets truck. Sweetosaur. There's like so many people out here for it being like Corona-y. I'm gonna walk back there and see about the entrance. It's like a churro kind of ice cream thingy. There's a casino. Do you guys see that building right there? Hold on. That's the casino, that big building that I showed. Okay, so you can go into that dinosaur. I can't see it because there's a fence, but maybe you saw it, maybe you didn't. I don't know. I can't see it. But you can go in there, but it costs money. So I'm going to show you the entrance. I'm going to show you the entrance to the, like, I forget what it's called. Adventure Town or something. Oh, T-Rex Dinosaur Adventure. I'm going to show you the entrance. And if you want to go, it's $13 for adults. Can you guys hear that? Dinosaur sounds? there's a bunch of little, not little, but little compared to the life size, like gigantic ones, but I'll try to show you what I can see. There's this tall neck one. This one back here, kind of hiding. So this is where you're gonna go if you get, oh, they got misters going, so it's, oh, it's getting wet. Okay, let me get up here. That's nice. They have misters to keep you cool. They got the 6 feet stuff. Oh, look at this little one. Okay, 13 for adults, 11 for kids. Oh, look at this little alligator, a crocodile. Somebody's not happy, these kids. Whoa. And then you can get a picture with this this one right here. Please do not sit in the mouth. That's funny. Whoa. Oh, that's cool. We didn't have dinosaurs like that in Alabama. We got big hogs. Actually, that'd be kind of cool too. I don't know if you guys can hear me. As you can see, you can come here for free to take pictures. But if you want to go into that extra place, usually mostly for like kids, I think, then it costs money. And this is off the 10 freeway. Very easy to get to. Oh, and over here you'll see the windmills. I'll show you when we go up here a little ways. Just sitting here with my little nephew watching. Aw, that's awesome. I'm gonna turn my camera so you guys can see. Got big old claws. Ooh, that ice cream smells so good. It smells like waffle cones. Oh, there's the entrance. And then there's the windmills. If you guys could see, like. I'm glad we got out because that's cool. I haven't like been like out to see the dinosaurs in a while. Let me take this ice thing off the back of my phone because it's dripping now. Ew, it's all wet. Look at. I brought this cool bag so I could put my ice stuff in. Okay. All right, so that was fun. Did you guys like those dinosaurs? They're really cool to see in person too. Like, let me turn my car on because it's hot. Because they're very big and you can get like cool pictures with them if you stand back real far. This is not great lighting. Before I had my sweater in the window. Whatever. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool. And I bet you the ice cream is really good too, but God, I'm not gonna wait in that line, and I'm sure it's not that cheap either, so I'm good. Yeah, it's actually a really nice area. Where in Cali is this? This is it's called Cabazon. This town or city is Cabazon, California, and it's about 20 minutes from downtown Palm Springs, or about 2 hours-ish from Los Angeles. 2 hours east of Los Angeles. So it's in the desert. And it's not a big area, like, and I mean, like, it's not like a big city. Like, this is just kind of a corridor freeway. So this is where like everyone just drives to get to other places. But you have this roadside attraction with these dinosaurs. You have a big casino. It's called the Morongo Casino. It's very tall with a hotel, and like a lot of people go there and gamble, and I think they even maybe do shows there, but I'm not sure. And they have the outlets, the Cabazon outlets, the shopping outlets, and that's very popular for people that want to go and like get like Nike and whatever, all the other stuff that I don't care about because I don't go with brand name stuff. But if you're really into shopping, the Cabazon outlets are really great because you can save some money. I've been to LA once, and it was a lot dirtier and uglier looking than I ever would have thought. Trust me, it is very dirty, and it's not what you, I mean, it's not what you really see on TV. Like, it's not like glitzy and glamorous. It's like dirty, and it's not great. It's a big problem. It's a problem. They need to, I don't know what. I mean, I don't have the answer either, but I feel like there's got to be some answers. But that's a whole nother topic, because I think there's a lot of greed, and there's a lot of just corruption. So even people that try to help, I think they are not able to, because there's a lot of red tape, and people want to spend the money for other things that's not necessary, but people are suffering on the streets. So LA, it could be fun. Like, there's a lot to do. There's clubs and stuff, but I lived there before, and it's just stressful because there's so much pollution, and there's a lot of people that are down and out on their luck. Like, they just don't have anywhere to go, and it's just kind of a bummer. I'm not sure what that says, but hello. Is that a different language? Also that, because first of all, I don't have my glasses on, and second of all, I can't really read that, so hello. So let's see, we have a few minutes. We usually do the live stream for about an hour, so I have a few more minutes. Not that I'm going anywhere, but it is a little hot out here, and so I'm happy to answer any questions. Yeah, it was kind of a depressing place for me, to be honest. Yeah, it is depressing because you go somewhere thinking it's going to be like magical, you know, because people always talk about Hollywood and the LA, the city of angels, the city of dreams, and how people are always trying to get to LA to become famous, and it's like depressing because everyone, I'm not gonna say everyone, that's a real big generalization, but there's a lot of fake people in LA. Hollywood is sketchy. Yes, I used to live in Hollywood. When I was younger, I lived in Hollywood in like a high-rise apartment with like 3 roommates, and it was like I wouldn't go out at night. I still wouldn't go out at night in LA or Hollywood. Hey, thank you so much, Evo Gage. Hopefully I've seen that right. Just want to say your live stream's always fantastic. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it so much. Honestly, like every little bit counts, especially as I'm trying to figure out how to get this van and gas money and everything. So I truly appreciate it. And thank you for the very nice sentiment. I am very honored, and blessings right back to you. Yeah, so LA, you know, it can be good. There's a lot of cool things there to go see too. Like okay, back to Hollywood. So I used to live there, and if you go on Hollywood, I think it's Hollywood Boulevard, where you got the Mann's Chinese Theater, you got all the like the stars, the Walk of Fame stars. You have like, I mean, you got the Wax Museum, you got Ripley's Believe It or Not, like museum thing. You got all the like the tall like Capitol buildings and Capitol Record Building, and you know, there's a bunch of stuff, like individual things that you could check out. But to stay in LA, I don't think so. I think it's got a lot of work to be done to it. Did you know famous people when you live there? And no problem, you're like a virtual tour guide. Oh, thanks. I try to be like I'm trying to share like all my journey, because I know, you know, when I was raising my kids, I always wanted to like go places, and I always loved to see what people were doing. And so now I'm trying to like share, you know, anything that I can, because, you know, sometimes you're just stuck at home, especially now in the coronavirus times. Is like, sometimes you can't go do anything. And I like to share, and plus being on the road is lonely. So it's like, I feel like I could at least talk to people when I have like live streams and stuff. Oh, I'm from Turkey. Okay, I haven't been to Turkey yet, but that's, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of cool stuff in Turkey. Did I know any famous people? I'm gonna say I knew some semi-famous people when I lived in LA, and I saw famous people. Fun fact, I ran into Michael Jackson at a record store in Hollywood. Pretty much they shut down the store, but me and my friend and her kids we walked into I think it was Tower Records, and we walked in and we noticed that there was like bodyguards at like the end of one of the rows, and we looked, because we're nosy, and we looked down there and we're like, is that freaking Michael Jackson? It was Michael Jackson. He was looking through his own section. This is when they were still records. He was looking through his own section in the record area. And so so my friend, she's real bold, she's like, can we go say hi and go meet him? And the bodyguard like looked over, and then he was just like, yeah, let him come through. Probably because my friend had her kids with her, and you know how Michael Jackson was with, like, you know, being around kids and wanting to like be nice and stuff. That's a whole nother thing. But yeah, so it was very interesting. It's like one of those things where when you come in contact with somebody that's like so famous, there's like not really much to say. Like, I mean, I could be like, oh, I love your music. I'm sure he's heard that like 5 bajillion times. And like, you know, so you just stand there and you're just like, this is really cool. And back then that was a long time ago, and we didn't have cell phones. We had pagers. That's how long ago that was, guys. Like, I lived in the time where there was no cell phones, just landlines. It was a hard time. Could you imagine like trying to meet up with people without cell phones? It was terrible. Or if you forgot something at the store, you just get home and be like, hey, you forgot that. I could have texted you, but we didn't have that back then. So I say that to say that we didn't have cell phones, so we couldn't take pictures or anything. So that's just something that I look back at fondly, because I got to meet Michael Jackson, but also there's no proof. And there was other things like, you know, MC Hammer's dancers, the ones with the tall hair, you know, not like famous, but, you know, famous enough. And then of course, when you live in LA, everybody is an artist or an actor or somebody. So I was around a lot of people trying to, you know, advance their creative careers. So you know, it was a fun time living in LA, but also not, because it was just like crowded and traffic and smog. And when I had my kids, I was like, I am not raising kids here. Like, I think my younger son, he went to kindergarten in LA, and then 9/11 happened. So I was living there during that time, and then as soon as that happened, I was like, you know what, we're out of here. Like, this is not the place to raise kids. And then came back to the desert, and that's like a whole longer story. But yeah, so I used to live in LA, and I would not move back, but to visit is okay. All right, so any final questions before we wrap it up for today? Did you meet any famous artists when you were doing music? So this is like old, because I was making my album like in 2006. So it's like a long time ago. But one of my producers, he was in a R&B group called Portrait. And that's, if you like R&B, you would probably know who Portrait is. But they were like a boy group, an R&B guy group that was semi-famous back in the day. So he's actually, I still know him. He's a great guy. And, you know, so semi-famous, you know, like, I mean, I wasn't like hanging out with Beyonce, you know what I'm saying? But I knew people that were in their own circles, they were famous. Did you ever try out for American Idol back in the day? I never tried out for American Idol. I think that's one of the reasons why I kind of didn't really end up loving music, because I'm not a competitive person, and I don't like want to fight to sing, you know what I mean? I just wanted to sing because I love singing. And I think when I was working on my music, I just got to the point where I hated all the shadiness. And people would lie, and they would just try to like scheme, and just, it was not great. I didn't like the feeling. And so I was like, you know what? I made an album. I feel good about it, and I don't think I need to be famous in that capacity. So I guess, no, I didn't really care about being famous and all that. And so I didn't, so to answer your question, I didn't try out for American Idol because I just didn't want that pressure. And sometimes it's good to hear these old stories. Yeah, it's fun to talk about because it's like, it seems like so long ago. Like, I think our life goes in phases. Like, I look back and I'm like, that was a fully different phase of my life. Like, there was a lot of great times, but also I was less aware back then. I was less confident back then. I was less courageous even. And yet there was a lot of fun things. There was a lot of cool things that I still did. And so I look back and I'm like, I guess I still was courageous because I was doing things. I was always like trying new things. You know, I wanted to be a singer, and then I wanted to be like a writer, and like I always just tried new things. So I think my life is just like a series of just always trying new things because I want to make the most out of this life that I have. So it's kind of nice to reminisce. But yeah, it was a good time, and now I'm even in a better time. So it's good. All right, so any final questions for today? I am going to, after this, I'm going to drive home and probably go finish the drive around video because it's almost ready to upload, and then put on my pajamas. I got some Bob Ross pajamas from Walmart, and I'm going to show that on a future video. But it's funny because like some people like super know who Bob Ross is, or they don't know who he is at all. But if you don't know who he is, he's like that famous artist that was on TV with like the big puffy like afro looking hair, and he used to paint like the trees and like real calm and stuff, and he was a cool dude. So I got the pajama bottoms with his face on it from Walmart. Have you been to any states in New England or have any plans to? Great stream, by the way. Thanks. I've been to that area when I was a kid, but I haven't as an adult. Like, I haven't made it over there yet. That was actually on my list to go like do like all the East Coast states. But now with trying to figure out what I'm doing with this next journey with the van and stuff, I think I'm not gonna be able to make it this year, but maybe. I mean, who knows? I change my mind all the time. So I'm planning to go to like Idaho and Montana and all those states just to be like a little bit more cool. But if I just feel like I'm gonna keep going, and especially if I have a van, I might turn up in the East Coast and just do it. If not, then I probably will next year. And one of the things that I am planning on doing next June, July is I want to take that journey from California to Alaska, which is like a 60-hour drive, which seems like a lot. But I'd probably like do it as a full-on journey, like take like a month to go up there, because you got to go up through Canada. And so I would probably just take my time and just, you know, like obviously live in the van and, you know, just take my time checking out all the stuff along the way, and then go to Alaska for a couple weeks and then do my journey back down. Because I've never been to Alaska and I really would like to go, but I don't want to go when it's freezing. Hey Monique, I'm looking forward to seeing what you do with the van and car situation, because I'm in a similar situation. I have a car that I'm still paying for, and I've been saving for a van because I'm clueless. I mean, yeah, we are in the same situation. I don't have a lot of money, you guys know that. But I have this car, so I'm trying to work it, you know, I'm trying to work it so that I can basically like trade it and just get something for like even Steven. But I know I'm gonna have to pay more, and I do have some savings still, but I don't want to exhaust my savings because then I won't have gas money. So I am very frugal. I'm really good at making deals and negotiating, but it's just right now it's just so uncertain. That's cool. You're just a down-to-earth type person. Yes, thanks. Yeah, I'm pretty low-key. I'm pretty chill. But I love to like try new things and like see what's out there. And I'm a curious person. Like I want to see everything. Like if I see like a path, I'm like, oh, what's down that path? Not stupidly, like I'm not going to try to go fall off a cliff. But you know what I'm saying? Like a cautiously curious person. Like I like to try things, and then I'm excited to share it, because I went to Europe for 3 months by myself last year, which was my first time, and I was like so excited, but I was also sad because I was just there by myself, and I was thinking, this sucks because it's so beautiful and I don't have anybody to share it with. And I mean, I can't even really talk to anybody about it later. Like, remember that time when we were doing this? No, because nobody was there with me. So that's why I was like, I really wanted to do like a YouTube channel. I started out doing a podcast, and then I moved on to the YouTube channel because I really want to share all my journeys, because I like to, like, I haven't been everywhere. And so I like to see what other people are doing, and hopefully people that want to go certain places can watch some of my videos and be like, oh, that looks cool. I want to go do that one day. And also, if people want to live in their car, I'm trying to make as many videos as I can of me living in my car so that somebody can take those tips and use them, and it'll benefit them, or they can even learn better things that I don't even know about. So like during this time where I still have my car, I'm going to use the resources that I have, and I'm going to keep making videos so that I can put out as much information as I can. And then when I move onto van life, then if I do end up building the van out, then I'll of course make a whole series about like the van build, and also like what's different about van life as compared to car life. And there's always pros and cons. There's always pros and cons with everything. It's been super helpful. Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm excited to see what you do too, Moni, because I know you've been talking about your upcoming journeys and stuff like that. And it just makes me feel good to hear like people are doing stuff. And if anything that I can put out helps, then it makes me happy. And that's really why like it's important for me to share all of my stuff, even the good, even the bad stuff. I mean, especially the good stuff, but also, like I said, this week's been hard for me. And I mean, like, not hard like suffering, but you know, hard like got a lot going on in my mind. So, you know, I know everybody does. I'm not like the only person. Today, 1 month to go in my, oh, you only got 1 more month? That's exciting. That is so exciting. I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens. You'll have to keep me up to date. And also, for anyone that's not following me on Instagram, the Instagram is travelsnacks_, all one word, travelsnacks_. And then you can follow, like I post more stuff on there, I'd say, like just in terms of like, you know, what I'm doing and stuff. I try to do more stories and like little side things that's not in all my videos. And also, if you have any questions or just want to reach out, you can also DM me. I'm a nice person, so I mean, I try to get back to as many people as I can. So that's pretty much it. So I'm going to take like any last questions, and then I'm going to wrap it up for the day, because I kind of need to figure out what I'm doing. You guys ever just feel like that feeling like you're like in limbo? Like I feel like I'm just like in like it's like if you make jello and then like you're in the middle of that jello and you're just stuck in the middle of the jello. That's how I kind of feel, bringing it back always to snacks. It's like I'm just kind of stuck in there, not knowing what to do. But I guess with jello you could eat your way out, so that would be great. So I'm gonna take the best from what I'm going through and just still be happy and just do the best I can. And I guess you guys will see all my stuff along the way, because I'm pretty open about all the stuff. So I hope you guys have an excellent Saturday, excellent weekend. Stay blessed, and I will see you guys from San Diego next week, and I'll be posting videos and stuff. So thank you so much again for the donation. It is truly appreciated, and I will talk to you guys on the next one. Bye for now. Thank you.